can't get a higher accolade than that. We didn't need someone like Rich Shoulder or anybody else come along and tell us how to do it. We knew how to do it already. We established that already. So I wanted to publish all that, and he said, well, we can't use all that. We can only use 2,000 words, which is 5 pages maybe. I already had it up to about 30 pages. He said, we're going to use about 5 images, choose 5 images. So, it's too bad. So now I have this article, essay that I wrote that I really poured a lot into and spent months writing. It doesn't take me months to write anything, but I spent months thinking about it, researching it, and writing it, and got that done. And now I can't publish it. So there's something stopping us all the time from telling our stories.
Yep.
You know, it's either they have editorial control or they have copyright of the imagery that I can't use. Even though they send it to me, I can't use it. I don't have any rights to it. So I can't publish it. Otherwise I'd go out tomorrow and do it.
They're claiming rights too.
They're claiming rights to it, yeah. So they can stop that story because you can't get this the rights to use it. And really, when you put all that stuff together, when you see all the imagery, you put it all together, you can really see the power of what's happening. What they have downstairs in the rooms in the 60s is nothing like that. It doesn't even begin to scratch the surface.
That's insulting, man.
Yeah. I think the copyright of the images. Otherwise, you can't. I can tell the story just in text form, but what good is that? You need to see what they produce.
Yes.
They have several of my works in the collections, and I never signed copyright away to them.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll grant you
You know what?
rights to my
They
image.
didn't teach you anything
You know
about
what?
copyright.
We were all under like 21.
Oh,
We were
perfect.
18 and
Good,
younger.
That's good.
And all the work that
And now
we
we're
did,
not.
they claimed. I was probably the only one in the history of, maybe not, the history of the museum. I went through Senator Joseph Montoya because his wife went to school with my mom over here at the St. Vincent nursing school. So his wife and my mom were friends. So she knew how to get to Senator Montoya. So I went, called his office in Washington, wrote to them and said, I want an item out of the collection. And Chuck, what was his name? Chuck Daly. He told me that you're the only person who's ever gotten anything out of the collection. And that was to me amazing because if I was the only person, there were hundreds and thousands of works, from the tiniest ring and pin or hat pin to the largest painting and sculpture that I kept. It's like, remember seen that movie, where Indiana Jones, where they take the Ark of the Covenant and put it into this huge storage, and that's in my mind what I saw when I tour. Everything is just packed in boxes and put away. Nobody knows what's in there. I wove rugs here. I made pottery, big pieces of sculpted pottery. I had beadwork pieces. I painted. I have a lot of paintings here, but the only thing I got out of here was a rug dress, a gold natural dye rug dress, or not a rug dress, but a bead. In Navajo you say bead, and that's the only thing I got out of here, and that was it. And the bell. But if no one else got anything out of it, I just can't imagine. And then I started thinking about it later on. We were talking, and Bill and Alfred and I were talking. And I said, you know, we never signed our rights. We never waived in West. We never signed a waiver for this work. And if that was bought with government money for students at the school, we should have rightfully been able to take every single thing that we made with us, because that was federal money that was paid for every student. And when you get a per capita payment like that for student funding, the work belongs to the student. Were we in a research for somebody? That's the only way anybody can keep your work, is if they're doing research. Were we just a bunch of amoebas and monkeys doing stuff with it? No. Are Indians always going to be subjected to this kind of, how do you say,
say something, to clarify some of my remarks, because I don't want you to talk away thinking, well, he's anti-sugar and all this, sour grapes. This isn't about sugar, never has been. My arguments have always been our history, the validity of the time we spent here doing all that, which was a valid movement, is being ignored. And, you mentioned the Pastiempo article, and I looked at that, it's the same mythology, same thing. There were just a lot of students who didn't know what they were doing, they weren't real artists.
Yeah, we did. Exactly.
And I don't think that we were, everybody was. But sure, artists by that time. In fact, I traveled with the show up to Alaska, with Jimmy McGrath, back in '68 or something, and, they had a comparison between the work we were doing in a local high school, and there was no comparison. I mean, we were all working mature artists. And the newspaper critic who came on and saw it, he said so. He said, these are mature artists, what are we doing comparing them with our local high school? That makes sense. So but when you see them all together and you compare what was going on, it's a phenomenal experience, and I just don't see anybody doing that. Mostly because I think they keep it under wraps, and they don't want anybody to get into it. Or they don't believe it, or they don't know it, they don't understand it. They don't think it's possible. They believe the myth that all we were was a bunch of naive students. When in fact, we were cutting our teeth as artists. We did
Still
some
doing it.
fantastic stuff. Yeah.
Still doing it.
I just wanted to let you all know, that's what it's about. It's not about criticizing children at all. I have my children's work. In spite of the fact that he really didn't start painting he's known for until after he met us. He really did. I recall I took a class out at the College of Santa Fe, and it was painting actually, was my instructor. That art history teacher, he knew Schiller, and he asked me, what are you doing at the IAI? I said, I'm painting. He says, can I come and see your work? I said, sure. So he came to see my work, and he said, you know what? He says, you're a better painter than your instructor. And I thought, that was fantastic. This guy who studied art history, tell me that. Because Schiller hadn't started moving into Indian painting yet. And then one time Schiller was very, very excited. He said, oh man, I'm sure my latest work.
He was like that.
Yeah, he just all excited. Went out to the studio and what was it? Indian rhinoceros. Oh man, you did an idea, Schiller. I know your stripes.
Yeah.
But it was good. I mean, I don't begrudge that or anything else. I just want the history to be told right. I think we all deserve that. Not fair. No hard feelings to anybody or anything. When I write things, I do a lot of research, and I make sure that what I say is verifiable. I check, recheck, to make sure. And that's what the good historian will do. So that's all I want to say. We've left our children and grandchildren a great legacy here that really needs to be preserved. Great ceiling. Again.
I'm so glad you made it came from Canada. I want to go back to Canada. I think that we should talk about organizing, about putting together an ad hoc committee to really address some of these things, the real historical roots of the OIA, and answer some questions for one another, and help our children, grandchildren, and our families to understand what really happened here, even if no one else knows. And then that's letting the world know too. So I know that we're old and some of us are sick, but we're still interested in making beauty and making beauty that lasts.
thing I would like to find out more about is the honors collection. Because before I left, I was fighting with the school about that. They told me that the plays I wrote here belonged to them, not me, and I had no say about who did them or how they interpreted them. And I was only 19 then, and I was trying to fight them, and I didn't know what I was doing. But it has angered me all these years that I loved the school, but I don't know how they claimed rights to my work. And I don't know how anyone else feels about that, but it has upset me throughout all these years. I got a letter one year from Donna Whitewing when I think she was teaching at the school, and there was a master's student somewhere who wanted to do his paper on one of my plays, and she told me that she had already given him permission because the school owned the play. And I had nothing to say about it. They didn't ask me, they told me after it was over. And I think that's wrong. But I knew the paintings and that other students did when they do the honors collection, but they didn't tell me until afterwards. They were claiming my plays.
Yeah, I think we even if they say that they belong to them, we have a spiritual right to them too. Because I think this is the place where I grew up. I became an adult here, and I found my first love here, and became a human being more. So if I had just gone and stayed on the res and just gone on to another college, I don't think anything like that would have ever happened to me.
Yeah.
And I never would have met all the wonderful people that I did here. And to this day, every day I think about Hawaii, because I've still got paintings and things all over the house, and even my little pin that says, Alumni Hawaii, it's here or there, And so there's always reminders, and so this place meant so much to me that after I left, I didn't come back for long because the partying was too much. It was like graduation was like, me and I gotta leave now, because there was no post-grad program. I wasn't post-grad, so there was no place else to go. But I think that if we organize and, get some sort of a committee going here, I think that we could probably, that would be one of the things I think we might address. And
Yeah, we have a combined force. I think they'd be more ready to address those issues and settle up with us. Right. I can't remember ever signing anything with any kind of right or anything.
I was told that the only way to get my word back was to get the President of the United States to sign off on it. Man,
Romney will do
what if I can't?
We can cheat and dig somebody up.
Yeah, I think it's important that we change the story. We weren't students, we were professionals. And because when I went to school at Slade in London, we were producing at such a high level that they put me in with the postgraduates. And that's where I was. They didn't put me in as a first year at the university. They said, you're already an accomplished artist. You go with these people that are artists and things. So we paid our dues here, big time. I think we haven't even written that test. We were just students. Now, talk about it as a move on.
I'd like to ask something though, that what said here stays